Hello everyone, welcome back to Redstoning with Steve, and today we're going to be going over two little contraptions by a guy by the name of Mumbo Jumbo. And I gotta say, after watching his videos for the last hour straight, I've really got to like some of his contraptions, and these ones really took my fancy. They are secret entrances, and I've got to say, he likes his secret entrances, and you could say I like some secret entrances as well. For those of you who watch my LP will know what I'm talking about. Of course, go check out Mumbo's channel up on the screen in the video description, you know, the normal places. And today, yeah, as I've already said, we're going to be going over some secret entrances, and yeah, let's jump straight into them. So I've got our two secret entrance designs here, and they're both very compact, as you can see here. Just have a quick fly around them. We're going to start with the one on the left here. It is a little simpler than the other one, in my opinion. So we have what appears to be, if I can get on the platform, appears to be a normal staircase. You can run up it, and you can run down it. And you can run off the side of you, whatever. It's a staircase, you get it. But when you flick the lever, a secret entrance pops out. And when you flick it back, and totally reversible, of course. What is a secret entrance if you couldn't close the secret entrance behind you? So very nice design, as you can see. Very secret. I like that. I very much like that. I'm going to set times 0 right up. There you go. So this is the redstone behind it. It's actually fairly simple, but because of its compacticity, it makes it a bit more complex than it seems. It's actually just a normal double piston extender with a single piston extender in front. So you can obviously see that these stairs go to here, so you only need one piston, but this set of stairs, or this set of stairs has to go to this block, so you need a double piston extender. So that's exactly what's going on. So we have this line here goes to all these 4 repeaters, and we have the 4 to the bottom piston here. We have one going to this redstone dot, this repeater, and up there, and around everywhere. So I'll turn it on quickly, just so we can see what's happening. So we've got the 4 going to the bottom piston, which powers the bottom piston, and we've also got the redstone signal going to this repeater, which also powers the bottom piston. Now, if you know double extenders, you'll know that you'll need to send 2 pulses to the bottom piston, because when a double extender extends, you want the bottom piston to fire first, obviously, but when the double piston extender retracts, you actually want the bottom piston to retract second. So you want the top piston to retract first and then the bottom piston. So that's the reason for the kind of double delay here. Or the double input with the delay is what I should be calling it. So we've got the minimum delay to this block, because why not? But you might as well put the lowest delay you can get to increase the speed. And we've also got the 4 delay to keep it powered while the top piston retracts. So that's it. What's going on there. This repeater, and before you guys cry out against me, the design is relatively symmetrical except for this orange section here, which I'll go over in a sec. Yeah, the two halves work essentially identically. There's not too much difference between either part. So what happens, this repeater comes through here, and same on the other side, of course, powers this, which only serves to power this pink block, which extends this piston. So it's very simple. So the front 2 pistons, so I'll retract it again. So these two, the pistons under these 2 blocks, so this one and this one, are simply controlled by the 2 pink blocks on either side with the redstone dot going into them. So that's them done already. This also continues on to this line, and this is where it gets a little different. Well, this is the same on the other side, but this is different. So this redstone line comes up to here, and behind here will be the top piston. If I replace that, extend it, and you can see this redstone line is going into here, which powers the top piston. As you can see, when I remove the block, you can hear the piston extending and retracting. So that's what powers that. So this little orange section here is kind of where the compacticity comes into the design. You know, this bit at the front, you know, I could have probably done that. Pretty easy. It's not really that complex at all. But this little back bit, I'm really impressed by. What essentially happens is you can see this little piston here, right? You can see this redstone dot here is powering it. You're thinking, what's the point in this? There's not much point to this, whatever. It might be a bit more apparent when we do this. So it's retracted, it's the double piston extender is extended, the secret entrance is closed, obviously. So to open the secret entrance, we need to do the double piston extender action. And if you don't know how double piston extenders work, and I should have mentioned this earlier, go back and watch Redstoning with Steve back in season 1. Good explanation to how they work. Actually, one of my more popular episodes, which I'm happy about, was one of my better ones, I think, overall. But anyway, what happens is it comes through here, and this redstone torch turns on after 1, 2, and 3 ticks if you include the redstone torch as a delay device. Oh no, it's only 2. Okay, 2 ticks. I'll change my answer. 2 ticks to here. This redstone dot, if this piston was not extended, which in fact it actually isn't, when this piston retracts and this dot is on, this piston will extend and send a 1 tick pulse to here, through to this block, then to this, which will be off by the time it gets there, just trust me on this one, and to this repeater. And the 1 tick pulse goes to this redstone dot, which, if you can see, and try and see in here, goes to this repeater and this repeater, which powers a piston arm. But and I'll get orange wool here and just replace some blocks. But this is the crucial 1 tick pulse that you need to do a vertical double piston extender. So what will happen is your top piston will retract. Then your bottom piston with the 4 tick delay will retract your top piston. So you have a piston here and a piston in level with this block and a piston where that piston arm is right now. And then that crucial 1 tick pulse just allows the top piston to go up and just grab the block back. So it's very, very good. Very, very compact way to do it. The idea of this repeater to this redstone dust here is absolutely nothing. It doesn't do anything whatsoever. So it's pretty much just to keep it compact. And basically, I think what Mumbo thought was like, well, this repeater going to this wire, it doesn't really hurt the mechanism at all. It affects the mechanism absolutely zero. So might as well keep it in and keep it more compact. Sure, he could have moved this entire device 1 block back, but that would have made it less compact. So why not do it like this? So very, very ingenious. And of course, this is a rising edge trigger. So when this turns off, there is no pulse through here. It's simply not necessary to extend a piston extender. So I'll give you a look if I can. And you can see the redstone line flash a little there. And on the way back, it just turns on. So watch for the flash in that redstone line when I flick the lever. You can see the little flash there for the 1 tick pulse. So that's pretty much how it works. Again, if you don't know how the double piston extender works and are still confused by this, definitely go back and watch my shameless plug Redstoning with Steve episode on it, because it will explain it very well for you. So without any further ado, we will move on to the second design. So I got to say, this design is a little more complex than the first one, just a little bit. It's more square. I like modular stuff more so. I much prefer looking at it. It's prettier to look at. Not so much in a square, but we'll see how we can get through it. So pressing the button does this. And you can see we can drop through to there. I'm actually going to put a block there so we don't fall into the void. Beautiful. And yep, you can see clearly the secret entrance. When I first saw this, I thought it was going to be like a hipster door, but he's managed to get around that by not using a triple extender by using this block. This mechanism has actually broken me a couple of times, so I hope it doesn't again. Yeah, I think it's because I'm pressing it before that little last piston extends. So this is what it looks like inside. A little more complex. All looks good. So that's your look at it. So we'll now see how it works. Alright guys, so I reckon let's get the easier bit done first. We have our input button here, obviously. And this button goes to this line. Dust, repeater, 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 repeater. Goes to this piston, which will provide a 1 tick pulse, through to this repeater, which provides a 1 tick pulse to this piston, which allows it to 1 tick pulse this grass block into into this position or that position, whether you're opening or closing the secret entrance. Yep, pretty easy. So that little bit was all well and good, but the actual retraction and extension for the this little log here is a little more in depth and may include some little mechanisms that some of you may have not seen in Redstone before. So I think a lot of you will be very interested. So basically we have the double extender in here. By the way, I've stripped back a lot of the things. I've even stripped back the sticky piston that would go here. It's not really necessary for the second part of it, so I've not included it. So we have the double extender here, which is kind of obvious because if you look at this, if you have one piston, the log's only going down to there. You're not going to be able to get in there, and you're not going to be able to pull this log anywhere meaningful. So you're going to need the double piston extender. Just replace that log. So we've got the double piston extender here. Behind it, 3 pistons, and these will be for 1 piston, 2 pistons, and the log in there. And I'll give you a look at that. If in fact, smack the button, and you can see in the retracted state we've got the double piston and the log. I'm going to open it again just because it's easier to see though. So the main input line is this purple section here. I'll quickly go over the pink line because it's not too hard. Basically you hit this, which this dust powers this piston, the block powers the piston behind it, and you actually can't see it, but there's a piston behind it. And this bottom piston is budded by this purple block, and then the track provides the update. So effectively, it's a way to power 3 pistons at once very quickly. You could use a torch for this, but there is delay involved in that. So hence why it is not used in this case. I don't think Mumbo wanted delay in this system. Well, unnecessary delay anyway. This then goes to this, a bit of a delay circuit, 3, 4, 4, and basically just keeps these 3 pistons extended long enough so the double piston extender can kind of do its business. You will see them actually retract and then extend again. I don't think it's vital to the system for it to do that. It may just to avoid a redstone pulse somewhere, but I think more than likely it's just to keep them out long enough. And I think Mumbo realized that there was a point at which he didn't need the double piston extender extended at that stage, so he just used that as an opportunity to try and keep these 3 pistons extended for the duration of the double piston extender mechanism. So I think that's what's going on there. This purple circuit is pretty much the driving force for the circuit, as well as it also provides a driving force for the sticky piston that was there. It also drives the whole mechanism. So we have the purple go through to here, dust, repeater, very not flashy there. But when you get to this redstone dust, it gets a bit more flashy, and it is a little fancy here, I must admit. Got a bit overboard on the fanciness here, Mumbo. Oh, I'm stuck in the repeater. God damn it. Silly redstone bugs. So this dot actually goes to this log, and you can see that it will power the double extender. So I'm actually going to put the double extender where it will be. We already... and I'm stuck. No, I'm not. So we already know that these 3 pistons will stay extended and that they will be powered first because obviously because they've got 0 delay to them. So we've got the double extender in the position here. This redstone dust here will power the bottom piston. Pretty simple. And in fact, you can see this go to here and this go to here will provide a 1 tick pulse to here as well. Not sure if it has any effect, but if any effect, it would only serve to keep the bottom piston extended longer. So kind of ignore that for the time being. But this redstone dust sneaks out and actually goes to this block, as you can see. And I've got to replace that now. It goes to this block, which will actually power this piston. But before that happens, this repeater goes to this redstone dust, and a fraction of a second later, this block gets pushed to here and actually cuts the signal, providing a short pulse, a 1 tick pulse to this block here, which will actually power this piston. Can't speak. The piston will be in that position because this is extended already. So provide a 1 tick pulse to this and will allow this log to go back to here. Right? Following so far? I hope you are. So then this redstone dust depowers. This piston goes back to the position you see it in now, and this will go to here. And we're going to go to here. This piston will go to here. Very, very simple. And the genius of this design then comes into play. Remember this piston from before? How it had its block out here and it was actually extended? Well, when this dust turns off, it will retract this piston, as we said before, but it will also retract this piston. And the genius, absolute genius of this is this. It is a dual edge trigger. So when this piston extends, it will send a 1 tick pulse through to this block. When this piston retracts, it will also send a 1 tick pulse through to this block. And I really love that. I have not been able to incorporate a dual pulse, a dual edge trigger into any of my designs yet. And I'm very, very happy that I can see one in a design. So very, very happy about this. And the effect of this is that this piston will be in this position. We'll send a 1 tick pulse to here, which will actually bud this piston. But this normal piston here is only to provide the update to this piston because it will power this piston at the same time it buds this. So this piston will receive the 1 tick pulse that will allow it to retract the block to there. And then finally, these 3 pistons will retract. And we have our final position like this. And actually this device will still work like this because the opening and closing mechanism are exactly the same. So we can replace this as such and it should work, providing I haven't messed it up too bad. Oh. And there we have it. So there we have it, boys and girls, the 2 devices explained. I hope my explanations were satisfactory. If they weren't, feel free to leave a comment. I'm more than happy to clear anything up in the comments. If you want to know how to make these devices, I don't show you how to make them. I'm only the guy who explains how they work. If you want to know how to make them, be sure to check out Mumbo's channel. He provides a full tutorial, everything. Special thanks to Mumbo for these awesome devices. My God, I love them. I really do. Of course, world download right down there in the description. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Go check out Mumbo's channel. Not sure if I mentioned that already, but go do it. Oh, I messed these up. I don't like that. There we go. Yeah, go check out his channel, guys. Make sure you do, because he is an awesome redstoner. And I think that's all I have to say, and I will catch you next episode.